Season 2 is finally here. In fact, by the time you're watching this video, it's probably already released. And we should probably be looking forward to all that new exciting content, but I wanted to look backwards for a second at all the things I will not miss now the updates come. Let's start with possibly my most hated feature in Warzone 2, the 2v2 Gulag. Now, I understand that some people might really like this feature, the way you could team up with another player. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? I hate it with a passion. I hate it for a couple of reasons. The first reason is I don't want to rely on someone else. If I fail my 1v1 Gulag, it's my fault. But more often than not, if you're in a 2v2 Gulag, you either got a really good player that pulls their weight and you get out easily, or you've got someone that doesn't pull their weight, or maybe is even AFK, and you just end up getting frustrated. At least I do. There are very few occasions in this 2v2 Gulag where I feel like I've been carried by the other player. It has happened a couple times when I've made some idiotic mistake, but for the most part, I feel like I'm frustrated more than anything else. Now, I don't even want to get into the jailer, but we have to. It's a stupid feature. I hate it. The fact that I could be down to a 1v1, say, and I've broken the other guy's armor in the Gulag, and then big old jailer comes along with his minigun and thinks, oh, I'll have a piece of this. It's really, really frustrating. It's worked in my favor a couple of times, mind you. It has taken out an enemy and I found it really funny. It's not so funny when it happens to you, though. So I am not going to miss the 2v2 Gulag. They did say that it will be on the same map for the time being, at least. But then they will be looking to put a proper 1v1 map in the future. Thank God. Let's also talk satchels. Satchels are a real annoyance for me just because of the amount of time it takes looting sometimes to find one. You might get lucky and find one straight away, especially if you know some of the key points. It's not that much of an issue early game, but there are occasions when you just don't find one. And the worst situation is if a couple of your teammates die in squads, there's just this conversation constantly, oh, stow that 3-plate, because you know it's going to disappear. Stow that 3-plate, stow that 3-plate. It's this constant conversation about satchels that's so unnecessary. It doesn't improve the gameplay by having that system in place. All it does is it slows down the mid-game when you need to regain or whatever, especially if you've died. Getting rid of it is a really good idea, I think. I'm also not going to miss the backpack system. I think the backpack system becomes a little bit of a crux. Of course, you can find a medium and large backpack in the loot pool, but you could also go to a stronghold and get a medium or a black site and get a large. What this means is you could just stock up on airstrikes, self-revives, you could stock up on armor plates, ammo, the whole 9 yards. Not to mention, you can have a third weapon. This is going to change the meta completely, because if you want to have a sniper rifle, you're going to have it as your secondary. More often than not, I'd just have a sniper rifle as my third gun. I'd have some sort of assault rifle or likely an RPK, then some sort of SMG, probably a Fennec, and then a Signal 50 in my backpack. That is incredibly powerful, but because of the new system, that is going to go away. The most important part, though, is getting rid of people stocking up on self-revives and kill streaks, especially in squad games. You could have one person in a squad that has 3 or 4 airstrikes, self-revives. Across an entire squad, if they've all got that, it gets a little bit silly. So going back to a standard backpack, I can't express enough how much I think this will improve the gameplay. I'm also not going to miss hunting for cash for 20 minutes to get my teammates back in the middle of a round. The idea now that cash stacks are going from $100 to $500 is going to make such a big difference. And I'm really hoping that the economy in the game will be so much better. There was nothing more frustrating, I think, than in the middle of the game and you've got $2,000 and you just can't find enough money. You're in an area that's been looted. You find 100 here, 100 there. The idea now that 500 is going to be the minimum is going to make things so much better. Now, this next one is a little bit controversial because, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure if I'm going to miss it. But that is the looting system. In Season 2, the looting system is changing. It's now going to be floating loot that's just going to pop out onto the floor. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to miss the backpack system or not. In some respect, I wish they would have put everything in the backpack but just made the backpack system better. But I probably am not going to miss rummaging around inside a backpack to get all the items that I need. So I'm going to put this in there anyway. I'm also not going to miss the randomized buy stations. I feel like the way they implemented the system meant that quite often there was 2, maybe even 3 buy stations in a small vicinity of one another. I think with Season 2 going back to buy stations being in a fixed position will hopefully mean that they will be spread out across the map better because they can obviously be positioned that way. I'm hoping this will make for less camping of buy stations. As of recording this, I haven't even seen the patch notes for the new update, so I'm really hoping there's going to be balance tweaks, and I hope I'm going to be saying to you that I'm not going to miss the RPK and the Fennec, but we'll wait and see. Overall, I'm very excited for Season 2, and if you're watching this video right now, I will be live on Twitch with the Season 2 content, so come and say hi, twitch.tv/Hadz, and I hope you enjoyed the video.